About 15,000 Chinese workers came to Canada because the railway was the only way to come to Canada and make money. They were working long nights and early mornings to make money to send to their families when the railway was finished. They thought they would come over for cheap and live a good life in Canada with their family. Things had changed when the railway was finished. John A. Macdonald had placed a Chinese head tax in June of 1885. This was to keep the Chinese immigrants out of Canada. This was when the railway was finished in November of 1885. The head tax was at $50 in 1885. There was a request that the head tax be raised to $100 later. The request was by the Royal Commission. There were still some Chinese families coming over. Then the Royal Commission request had been raised in 1903. The request had raised it to $500. That restricted Chinese to come to Canada because with $500, that could buy you 2 houses. That price was for every Chinese citizen. In 1923, the Chinese head tax was replaced with something even worse than the head tax. It was that every Chinese was not allowed to come to Canada. No matter how much money they had, they were still not allowed to come to Canada. In 1947, William Leon Mackenzie King had taken the indemnity away so that the Chinese could come to Canada without charge. The Chinese head tax did not follow equality rights, legal rights, and mobility rights in the Charter. In the Charter, things like the head tax were not built to happen because equality rights are protected in the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Equality rights are that everyone has the right to fair and equal treatment and cannot be discriminated against in any way. They were not treated equally. They were not allowed to come to Canada because they were Chinese. They were also paid way lower than the European settlers. That is why it did not follow equality rights. The Charter protects legal rights. The legal rights are that everyone has treatment. They were treated unfairly because of their background. They were not Canadian citizens, but John A. brought them into Canada, which kind of meant they were Canadian citizens. Mobility rights protect you that you can travel in or out of Canada. They also move to any territory or province and work there as long as they have a work permit. The Chinese were not allowed to move to Canada.